How's it going, y'all? I hope you're doing well. I wanted to make this short video really quick about a highly requested topic, and that is editing navigation menus in Cascade. I'm here on our web services landing page, and I want to highlight this area over here on the right. This is navigation. It's also called the side navigation or the sidebar navigation, and it's what we're going to be editing today. And what this video is going to cover is adding and removing things from this navigation. It's also going to cover changing the order in which things are listed in that navigation. And finally, we'll also cover adding an external link to the navigation, whether that's a page in a different department folder or whether that's like an external page like the YouTube channel, which is what we're going to add. To get started, a quick explanation of how Cascade navigation works. It's not something like a module where you set it up yourself and you add it to the page. It is actually something that is generated automatically by Cascade, and it's based on the folder that a page is in. So in this particular folder, the web services folder, Cascade is going to make a list of each page in the folder, and it will add the navigation to all of these pages automatically. It makes a list of all the pages. It checks to see what order that they're in, this order number right here, and then it checks to see if we have marked them to be included in the navigation. And if a page is not included in navigation, it won't show up. So on this particular menu, we have the web services page here, which is our welcome page, and then we have the WordPress page, which is this page right here, but we don't have the Cascade page on there. And if we want to add it to this menu, we need to go to the page and we need to mark it to be included in the sidebar navigation. So the way that we do that, we're going to edit this page and we're going to scroll down to this area right here that says include in sidebar. And we're going to make sure that it's marked yes. And then we're going to submit. And as you can see, we now have it over here in the navigation. But I don't necessarily think this is the best order for these links to be in, because this is our main page down here at the bottom, and we want this to be up at the top so that it's like most visible, it's the most accessible. So we want it to be listed first. So if we go to the web services folder, I mentioned earlier that there is this order. This it's like a hierarchy right here. And if we want to change the order in which the links are listed in the navigation, we have to change the order number for the page. So for instance, the welcome page is on the bottom because its order number is 6, where the order number on the Cascaded WordPress pages are 4 and 5. So it's going to start from 1 and it's going to go down. So it's going to list the welcome page beneath these 2 other pages. So in order to change this, what we have to do, there's 3 steps. First, you want to make sure that you are seeing all of the items in this folder. And at the moment we are, because this is a small folder and there aren't like 100 items in this folder. But for a large folder like the IT folder, we would want to come over here and we would want to make sure that this show drop down right here is set to all so that we can see all of the items in this folder. So that's the first step, is just making sure that you can see all of the items on a single page. And then the second step is sorting them by order. And what sorting them by order does is inside Cascade, it allows us to then drag and drop the pages to the order that we want them in. So if I tried to drag and drop the welcome page right now, it's not going to do anything. But if I come up here and I click order and it sorts them by their numerical order, I can then select the welcome page and I can drag and drop it to wherever I want it to go. In this instance, I'm going to drag it above the Cascade and WordPress pages, and it really doesn't matter where in this hierarchy it goes to as long as it's above them. And that's it. So now when I go click on the welcome page, it is now sitting above the Cascade and WordPress pages. So that is how we change the order of the navigation. Just to recap those 3 steps, make sure that you're seeing all of the items on a single page. That's already done if you have a small folder with less than 20 items. But if you have more than 20 items, like down here, if you're seeing this down here, where you have to go to a different page to see more items, you'll want to select this drop down and click all. Next step, sort by order. Up here, make sure you're seeing them in numerical order and then just drag and drop them. And that's how you change the order. So finally, we're also going to cover adding an external link to the navigation. And this is going to apply to a page that is not in this folder. It could be a sub page like this page right here that's in a different folder, or it could be a page that's in a completely different folder. It could be a page from the College of Arts right here. We could link to this page and it would be considered an external page just because it's not actually in the folder that we're working in. So if we go back to the web services page here, in this case, I'm going to add the web services YouTube channel. And the way that we're going to make an external link, we're going to come up here to the add content area. And if you click add content, I'm seeing a bunch of different options because I'm still signed into my admin account. But if I go down here to this little test account that I have made, it probably looks a lot more like your view now with just the folders that you would see. So my department folder would be the IT folder and specifically web services. So if I click add content, you're probably used to seeing your department in here. You should now have a new one that's default department. And I had noticed that some of the folders right here, these are called asset factories, and they allow you to generate different types of content. I had noticed that some of them weren't letting people put content in different folders. So I went ahead and just enabled the default department one. So you should be able to put items from this one anywhere. You won't get an error message like you can't do it in this folder. But you'll want to click create an external link for navigation and make sure that the placement folder is the department folder which you want to include this in. And for display name, we'll just do YouTube channel. Display name will be the name that it is in the navigation, so just keep that in mind. You don't want to make it too long. Finally, we just need the actual link, which I'll go ahead and type here. VSU Web Services. So you can also click yes to, is this a link to an external site? If it's a VSU site, you can just click no. And then metadata. we want to double check whether or not this page will be included in the navigation as we're making it. So it should be by default, but this metadata tab right here is where that sidebar navigation option is included. This was left over from an old template, so you can see it still says left sidebar navigation. We had that one or two website redesigns ago. But it still works. You just want to make sure that yes is selected. Add to top bar is still going to work for some very old templates, but in general this won't work, so I recommend leaving this no. But once you've actually put your display name and your link in there and verified that it is going to be included in the sidebar navigation, then you can go ahead and check content and submit. And there is our link that has been generated. And if we go to, and you'll notice that it has been given an order of 9, and it is the 9th item in the folder, so it should be down there at the bottom, and that's where I want it. So if I now click on the welcome page, we can see it has been added to our website. And if I were to click it, and then I can tab over to the other page, there we go. It is now included in our navigation, and it is working great. So the final thing that you need to know is that when you make changes to the navigation, it affects all of the pages in the folder. So even if I just go to the Cascade page and I set it to be included in navigation, well, the only page I actually edited was the Cascade page, but if I make changes to navigation, it affects the folder level instead of the page level. So all of the pages in here are affected, which means that all of them need to be republished. If you just publish the Cascade page, the updated menu will only appear on the Cascade page on the live website. So just a quick note to publish. Really, the easiest way to do it is to publish the entire folder, but if you can't do that for whatever reason, just make sure that you go in and publish all of the pages in the folder. All right, well, that about wraps it up. That is editing navigation menus in Cascade CMS. Thank you for sticking with me for these 13 minutes, and I am absolutely welcome to any suggestions that you all have for future videos. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks, y'all.